Hi guys and welcome back. It's Shayla again from Freckle Finance. Today I wanted to do a video just covering all of my hobbies that I have picked up here in California, and whether they're cheap, whether they're expensive, if anyone else is in a similar situation to me where they are in a country where they're unable to work. It is incredibly important for your mental health, probably more than anything, that you pick up hobbies. But you also don't want to be breaking the bank, and yeah, you don't want to feel guilty about spending all that money when you're not earning any. So here's a list of the hobbies that I've picked up. My first hobby is a hobby that I've pretty much always had as a child. It can be an incredibly cheap hobby. It can be quite an expensive hobby, and that is reading. So I'm actually about, I'd say almost a 30-minute walk or so from the closest library to me, and that gives me access to many books, as well as you put a book on hold and it arrives quickly. And so that has been incredibly cheap. And to add on to that hobby, I have joined a monthly book club. So for example, this month we are reading Neil Gaiman's book called American Gods. I also do educational type of reading. I'm usually reading kind of an educational book along with one or two novels at the same time, and that has been really keeping me occupied. However, it can get a little bit boring and lonely if you read too much at once at home, so I try to keep it to certain times of the day where that happens less to me. However, I am not completely 100% perfect. I will sometimes see a book and purchase it. Especially, I'm more likely to purchase educational books. It's about finances or something that I could be used to reference later. The second hobby I have, and one that I have discussed several times, even though I've actually only gone biking once, would be I'm part of a biking group. I've only done it once because I haven't purchased a bike, and I kind of feel bad continually borrowing this one girl's bike, so probably need to get a bike. And for anyone who's interested, I had a bike in Toronto. It was already in bad shape, and before we moved, I went down to the parking garage and found out that someone stole my tire. So at this point, like, the bike wasn't in good shape. Someone stole the tire, and I just felt it wasn't worth the hassle of moving it. I'm also in discussion to joining kind of a badminton club. Now, this is not a club that you pay a membership fee for. This is just basically the girls that I bike with. I think there might be a few people that don't bike and a few people that bike that aren't going to be part of this, that are joining this badminton club. I'm not sure on the pricing yet, but they made it sound like it was inexpensive, but we will have to rent space to play badminton because it's hard to find public badminton courts. So depending on what the price actually is, I will be joining, or I might not be. I did really like badminton in school, and it's not a super high impact sport, which I am not supposed to play because of a nerve condition that I have called CMT, and so I think that it will still work, and it's good to keep active with different types of things. About 2 to 4 times a week, really depends on how busy I am with other things. If I'm doing other physical activity or whatever, I will go to the gym. So the 2 types of classes I'm doing at the gym is a spinning class, and there's different types of spinning classes, but to me, I pretty much love them all equally. The only differences I feel are within instructors, so some instructors I will like more than other. And there is another class called Chisel, because I feel like while I've got this time available to me, I should be working on my muscle, strength and stuff like that, especially since my condition causes muscle wasting, and it's important for me to keep up my strength in the other muscles. And this is just there's no extra fee for these classes. It's included within the monthly fees, and I frankly don't use the gym for anything else. I am not someone to go on a machine and just whatever. I need kind of more interaction, more of a social aspect to my fitness, as you can tell from all my fitness. And I'm hoping all of that together will also make me more fit, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm going biking once a week as well as badminton once a week and going to the gym 4 times a week. It's not like that. I probably, at most, will work out 4 times in a week. So it's not super intense, unhealthy, or anything like that. This next one is not so much a hobby as something that occupies my time and that I am very interested in doing. And I start training tomorrow night for it. I'm going to be volunteering for a reading program that helps people of many ages. I'm sure it does not involve little kids, but I haven't found out yet, and if you're interested, I can let you know later in some kind of update. So let me know if you are interested in more of the details of what type of people I'm going to be working with for reading. But reading is obviously a very integral part of everyone's life that they definitely take for granted. And I wanted my volunteering to be geared towards those less fortunate, and I would say that it can be more difficult for people who have difficulties reading. So I thought this was a great program, and it was also easy for me to get into volunteering for it. There wasn't a lot of requirements, which I'm just worried that because I don't have a social security number that there would be issues getting volunteering at some other places. I still do want to look into a soup kitchen type of volunteering, and I frankly can't tell you why I have put this off, other than that we are doing a lot of research on mortgages and houses in the area, and that has been taking up a lot of my time. So when that stuff settles down, I think I'll be ready to take on the second type of volunteering. Cooking and baking is also something that I really love to do. I've been doing it less because we don't have as many friends who come over that I just like give food to. So I have still been cooking and baking. I here haven't made anything too complicated for baking, maybe pecan pie, lots of banana bread because I keep buying way too many bananas. But I really like doing like experimental baking. Not that I'm coming up with the recipes, just things that the ordinary average Joe doesn't make. I made pickles the other day, which I really actually need to try them. But yeah, I made pickles and I attempted to make yogurt, and the recipe seemed so easy. I might have bought the wrong kind of yogurt, not stirred properly, not sure. Yogurt didn't work out. So I'm counting this as a hobby, and it's not free because I do feel I spend a little bit more money on groceries because of these like experimental things where sometimes it actually costs more to make it at home than it would be to buy in the store. But I really, really enjoy seeing these like transformations in foods that people don't normally make at home. It's one of the reasons I absolutely love baking bread, which you saw that I baked bread recently in a day in the life video, and I still have one of those in the freezer now. The other one is gone, but yes, I absolutely love baking. So that, combined with the fact that I am responsible for way more of the household things than I was before, such as I do all the groceries, all the cleaning, pretty much any errands that I'm able to run while my husband's at work, I'm running those. Those things combined take up pretty much most of my days while my husband is at work, and I try to have all of this stuff be while he's at work, except the volunteering is not working out that way because most of those people probably are going to have jobs and they won't be available during certain hours. So I'm not sure what hours I'm going to be doing the volunteering at, but the training for it is in the evenings. But everything else I try to get done while my husband is at work. One more hobby, or just something I do to occupy my time when I do have extra free time, I tend to join in on the Dave Ramsey live show chat, and that occupies my time as well. I love connecting with all the people. A lot of the people are the same every day, so it's like I'm building relationships with those that are in that chat. And sometimes while the Dave Ramsey show is playing, I can get work done around the house. So surprisingly, some weeks I don't watch any TV while my husband's not home. That doesn't mean I don't watch YouTube videos or anything, but it's a much busier schedule than I thought. And I think at this point, if I start adding in more hobbies, I'm probably going to have to eliminate some hobbies. So I would say that in total, I do not spend very much money on my hobbies. I don't have a monthly fee that I pay because most things are very unreoccurring. Like I might have to buy a bike that is a hobby expense, but hopefully will not be a big one, which I haven't spent yet. And badminton, I don't know. My gym membership is about $40 a month. I know to some people that might seem like a lot in this area. It was the cheapest gym I could find that had spinning classes. So that's just for me, that's the best deal I could get on the gym. And I honestly really love it. I wouldn't pay more money for another gym. So from what I've said about my hobbies, if any of you have any ideas on some hobbies I might be interested in, let me know in the comments down below. I will probably start being less busy once we get more figured out on what we're doing with a house, or we bought the house or whatever, so I'll probably have a bit more time. So let me know, because I don't want to be bored, and I definitely do not want to be one of those people who sit at home watching TV all day, literally trying to pass the time. It's for my own mental health and just everything. I don't want to be someone who sits on the couch all day. I want to be active and about and doing things and enjoying my time. I don't have the choice to work, but I do have the choice to remain happy and healthy while I'm not working. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and remember that no matter what your financial situation is, make sure to have a great day. Bye.